So I'm here with Rich from Funeral for a Friend. Rich, what do you do in your band?
I play bass guitar.
Bass guitar.
Bass guitar.
So you've been in the band for a couple of years now,
yeah,
I believe.
It's actually about 3 years now.
3 years. 3 years. So either way, straight to the point. I'm Adam from reallyawesome.tv. This is obviously Rich from Funeral for a Friend, bass guitarist. Firstly, just want to kind of ask, Conduit only just came out. How's the reception been on the new material on tour?
It's been insane. I mean, whenever you sort of bring new songs, to a tour and stuff, you always have that slight anticipation of how a fan's going to receive it. And you don't expect people to sing along really. You don't expect, the album had only been out for a week while we were touring, so didn't expect people to sing back. Generally just kind of stand there and give you the nod of approval, but people have been singing back the lyrics to us and going crazy, and it's been overwhelming, the reception, to be honest with you. We didn't really expect people to sort of take it on like that, but they have. And thank you very much for everybody who's come to the shows and reacted like that.
That's pretty good. So this being the first album about Ryan on drums, so 5 albums with him, 1 without him. The buzz beforehand seemed to indicate that you guys might have lost a bit of what made Funeral for a Friend. A lot of people indicated that Ryan had a big input on especially vocally with his backing vocals, and as well as maybe the writing process. I mean, what do you think of opinions? My personal opinion is that it's wrong. Like, I love Conduit, but what do you think of those wrong assumptions?
I mean, obviously, people obviously don't really understand the workings of bands, because unless you're in the band, you're not going to understand their dynamics. But generally, I think we've benefited from not being in the band without sounding like a knob and stuff. I mean, Pat's an awesome drummer, so really his style of playing really lended itself to what the record sounds like. It's very heavy, it's very intense, and that's how he plays, so it's great. And really, the main writers of the band, myself, Gav, Chris, and Matt, so it didn't really affect stuff too much.
So I mean, it's 6 for 6 with albums in the chart. That's top 40s. Conduit's I think 34 this week, 33 this week.
It was 34 in the main charts and number 2 in the rock charts.
Yeah, and I mean that's got to be a pretty good feeling. And you must have been on the last 3 albums. So
yeah, I
mean still 3 albums for you, 6 for the band in total.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, really we're a hardcore band. And to have any place in the charts, it's amazing. It's humbling, and it's just every day just fucking that's crazy. I mean,
and being with, as you say, a hardcore band in the charts, how do you feel? Over the years, there's a lot of rock bands, pop punk bands, hardcore bands from the UK who may not have adapted as well as Funeral for a Friend have to stay in your position. How do you do that as a band? How do you make sure that as a band you continue to make music that people connect with, as well as make music that's personal to you?
I think we've made mistakes in the past. When I wasn't in the band, there's a few records that we lost our way on. But I think more than anything else is kind of honesty. Really, it's not trying to write for anybody or trying to do anything for anybody other than yourselves. Really, you write the music that you love, and you want to love, and that honesty, I suppose, people pick up on that. It's a selfish record, is what we wanted to write, and I don't know, maybe people picked up on that. They like the honesty and they like the raw.
It's pretty good. I mean, with regards to Welcome Home Armageddon and the EP previous, you guys pledge music for that. Yeah. I mean, it's a very strange avenue for a band of your guys' size. I assume that around the time you had a lot of large independents and majors courting you again and stuff. I mean, what made you decide to take that route as opposed to maybe
at the time it seemed like a really good thing for the fans, allow people to have a little bit of an insight into the band, do things with the band and experience parts of the band they might not necessarily had before. It didn't really work out for us. It was very difficult. It was in this
it's still successful.
It was teething. We had a lot of teething problems and stuff that needed ironing out. But yeah, we just kind of felt it was great to connect with the fans on that kind of level. So we're always into trying new things. And, it worked to a degree, but maybe never again.
What I've noticed with your last couple of tours is you've taken out quite select support bands, some very, very influential support bands with regards to the scene goes. I mean, maybe back in the past it would have been bands that that needed the leg up. But now it's always been a couple of bands who seem to hold their own and will bring people to shows who may find that they felt they weren't Funeral for a Friend fans anymore and may have brought them back in. But such gold in the Major League, they're quite big steps away from what Funeral for a Friend do and have been known to do. I mean, Major League are a straight up pop punk band, so what made that happen, such gold in Major League?
Well, to be honest with you, in the past, we've kind of been told really who to take on tour, and we've taken out a few bands that we might not necessarily like ourselves, stuff like that, but especially with this record and these sort of tours and stuff, there's been a massive emphasis really on doing what we want to do, take out the bands that we want to take out, and like Major League and Such Gold, we love those bands. Like Such Gold's record, Misadventures, was my favourite record of last year. Good album. So it was just kind of like, we just want to do what we want to do now. We want to take control of things and make our own decisions. And we kind of just put our fingers up and said, tough shit, these are the bands we want to take out.
Good choices. I mean, with regard to I Divide, who were opening the tour, excellent band as well. They got on it by the Red Bull Bedroom Jam. They were the winners of Red Bull Bedroom Jam 2012, playing lots of good UK festivals. I mean, as a band who only, I think 2 or 3 years ago, you were on the HMV Next Big Thing shows. I mean, how do you think things like that benefit a band? And not only benefit a band, but the scene in general, because, I mean, sometimes a lot of these competitions don't benefit not only the band, but other bands in it. But this band, very good band, very successful thing to support a band like you guys, and in previous tours they've supported bands like Blackout and stuff.
Yeah.
How do you think that can benefit a band to take part in a competition like that?
And we can, I suppose, like, getting onto a tour, this will teach a band a lot of experience. I mean, these sort of tours are hard work. I mean, you play very small shows where people are right up in front of your face, and they are, you know, they're hard working tours, and you know, teaches a band like that the ropes, really.
So, I mean, in your honest opinion, 6 albums in, I know you're only on the last 3, but what is your favourite Funeral for a Friend album?
I'd have to say Conduit is my favourite.
You're touring it.
But apart from that, I think a favourite of mine would probably be Ours. Just because I really like, there's a couple of songs I really like that we're actually playing at Alvarez. I think it's a fantastic song, and yeah, I just think it was a band coming into their own and showing a bit more maturity, really.
So finally, you know, it's February this month. What's coming up for Funeral for a Friend this summer? Any tours, any festivals, any good stuff?
Just as much touring as we can, really. We haven't got much penciled in really for the summer. We've got quite a lot of stuff in Europe.
I was given a bit of someone told me that you might play a couple of decent festivals. Anything on the horizon? Anything that may be particularly heavy?
I can't really say much at the moment, but we're getting out to Oz, which is amazing.
That's the way I've always heard really good tours about that. But thank you very much. So, Funeral for a Friend. I'm Adam, reallyawesome.tv. Check us out. Thank you very much.